Hey guys, it's Kiana here. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever asked yourself this question, or asked God this question in prayer, or asked one of your family members or friends this simple yet complex question? What is my calling? What am I going to be when I grow up? How can I serve God? What is the Lord calling me to do, calling me to be on this earth? Now, this is a big topic, and I find it so funny that I'm talking about this in a video because it's something that I haven't even discovered for myself. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is because there's a couple key points that I want you to keep in mind, especially when discerning God's calling for your life. So number one, and this is so important, don't get overwhelmed. I remember I had spiritual direction with my priest, and one of the sessions I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to know what God wants me to do. Why won't he show me what he wants me to do? It's like, I want to give my entire self to him. I want to serve him, serve his church, serve his people. But he's not showing me what to do. Like, what do I do? And it was so funny because don't get overwhelmed. Don't you think that God wants you to know his calling for you in your life? Especially when you ask him and keep it in prayer. He's not going to say, oh, I want you to serve me and serve my people, but I'm not going to share with you what I want you to do. You're going to just kind of figure it out on your own. No, of course God's going to show you. He is going to lead you. Maybe not at the time that you think. And that leads me to point number 2, is God's timing and God's vision can be different than your vision, than your timing. You see, God, he's the one who sees over our entire lives, not us. And sometimes I forget that because in my mind, I'm like, okay, God, give it to me right now. Tell me what you want me to do right now. Well, maybe God knows that I'm not ready for my calling at this moment. Maybe he has plans for me that I'm not ready to do at this current stage in my life. I'm not ready to take on. See, God's vision is different than our vision. And when you really understand that, then you'll develop this trust, this powerful trust in the Lord. And that leads to point number 3, is trust in God. He's got your back. He oversees the entire universe. And he knows how your plan will specifically benefit others and benefit his church. So as you spend time with prayer, ask God to deepen your faith and deepen your trust. Because once you have this deep trust in God and his plan, then you'll know that he's got your back. And he won't lead you in the wrong direction. If you follow God, he will lead you to your path. Number 4, don't be surprised if the direction in which God is calling you is something that you are uncomfortable with or unsure or uneasy about. I feel like a lot of times in our lives, God is calling us to pursue a specific path or to go a certain way. But we reject it unknowingly. We don't know that this is God's invitation to us because we're scared. Because we have these human emotions. And so we reject different opportunities in our life because we're uncomfortable with the thought and the idea of them. So I invite you to be aware of the ways in which God is asking you to go, the different paths that God is asking you to follow. And each day we have a new calling. It's not like one day you're going to wake up and say, this is what God wants me to do with my life. And maybe that will happen. But don't wait for that moment because you'll miss out on all of the other days before that moment. Because I know times when people have had specific, like, really powerful experiences where they know exactly what God is calling them to do. And they know the path in which the Lord is leading them on. But if you worry and if you wait for that day your entire life, and pretty soon you're getting older and you're still waiting, like, God, when are you going to show me what I'm going to do? Then you're missing out on all these other days and opportunities that you could be serving God. So I invite you to look at calling on a daily basis. What is God calling me to do each day? How can I love others each day? I think whenever we talk about calling, at least in my own mind, I always think about what I want to be when I grow up, what I'm going to do when I'm older. When I'm off at a certain age, I always think of an older age. I never think of myself in this current time, in this moment right now. I never think of calling as a teenager. I think of calling when I'm a responsible adult, when I'm going to know how to figure out life more. And that's where I'm wrong. You see, each day we have a purpose. That's why we live each day. God gives us the gift of life each day because each day we serve Him in a different way. And He calls us in a different path each day and in each moment. So pay attention to the ways in which God leads you each day, and the ways in which He speaks to you through prayer. And that's number 5, is prayer. It's huge. Everything starts with prayer. A priest told me that once. Everything starts with prayer. Begin and end your day with prayer. When you wake up in the morning, offer your life up to God. Give Him your entire self. Consecrate your entire self to Him. Ask for His guidance and mercy, and ask for Him to show you how you can serve Him in that day. So that when you wake up, you already gave your entire being to God, and you're already saying, Lord, use me as your servant. And same thing when you go to bed, before you go to sleep. Thank the Lord for the day that you just experienced, and thank Him for the ways in which you were able to carry out His work. And ask for His blessings for the following morning when you wake up again and start the day over again. Prayer, so important. It's how you build your relationship with Christ. It's how you discover the words and the truths and the ways in which He speaks to you, because God speaks through silence. It's when we sit with Him in silence that you will hear the Lord's voice. So instead of thinking of calling as this big thing that's going to happen sometime later in your life, think of calling on a day-to-day basis. Pray about it, prepare yourself, and don't be afraid of the unexpected ways in which God may lead you. Because ultimately, God is in control, and He loves you so much. He wants you to do His work, and He'll show you how you can follow Him. He will show you. I'm going to read one quote that is sitting on my corkboard that's right above my desk, so I'm going to look up to read it. And St. Catherine of Siena said it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful reminder for all of us to know, and it's this: be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. Be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. Be yourself. If you don't know what that means and who you are as an individual, start with prayer, because everything starts with prayer. And you will discover new truths, new insights, and new beliefs and knowledge about yourself and how you can serve others. Trust in God. He's got your back. I promise. He's there for you. But you got to pray. You got to strengthen that relationship with Christ. And that will be the number one source for doing God's work, for discovering your mission in this world. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.